doubt whatever about that.
The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk,
the undertaker,
and the chief mourner.
Ebenezer Scrooge signed it.
And his name stood up in exchange for anything he puts his hand to.
Old Marley was as dead as a doornail.
Mind, I don't need to say, of my own knowledge, what there is particularly dead about a doornail.
I might have been inclined for myself to regard a coffin nail as the deadest piece of ironwork in the trade.
No doubt the wisdom of our ancestors is in the simile, and my unhallowed hands shall not disturb it, for the country's done for.
There is no doubt that Marley was dead.
This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful could come of the story we are going to relate.
So I repeat, emphatically, Jacob Marley was as dead as a doornail.
Scrooge knew he was dead?
Of course he did. How could it be otherwise?
Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years.
Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assign, his sole residuary legatee, his sole friend,
and his sole mourner.
And even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event.
He was an excellent man of business on the very day of the funeral, and solemnized it with an undoubted bargain.
Oh, he's the tightest hand at the grindstone of Scrooge.
Hard and sharp as flint,
for which no steel ever struck out a generous fire.
Secret and self-contained,
and solitary as an oyster.
The cold within him freezes his old features, stiffens his gait, makes his eyes red, his thin lips blue,
and speaks so clearly, his grating voice.
He carries his low temperature always about with him.
He ices his office in the dog days and doesn't thaw it out 1 degree at Christmas.
No one ever stops him in the street to say,
"My dear Scrooge, how are you?
When will you come to see me?"
That, ladies and gentlemen, is nuts to Scrooge.
Scrooge and Marley.
Scrooge won't have Marley's name painted out.
Why go to the expense?
Some may call him Scrooge and some Marley.
It makes no difference providing their credit's good and they can pay on the nail.
Or the coffin nail, perhaps.
Once upon a time, of all the good days of the year, on Christmas Eve, Scrooge sits busy in his counting house.
Jacob Marley has been dead a good 7 years.
It's cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy with all.
Scrooge can hear the people in the court outside go wheezing up and down,
beating their hands upon their breasts,
and stamping their feet upon the paving stones to warm them.
The city clocks have just gone 3, but it's dark already. It hasn't been light all day.
The fog comes pouring in at every chink and keyhole.
External heat and cold have little influence on Scrooge.
Foul weather doesn't know where to take advantage over him.
The door of Scrooge's counting house is open, so he may keep an eye upon his clerk, who in a dismal little cell beyond,
A sort of tank.
It's copying letters.
Scrooge is a very small fire.
but the clerk's fire is so very much smaller that it looks like one coal.
What is it, Cratchit?
Could you see your way clear, Mr. Scrooge? In your great generosity, sir, to spare just a few coals from my fireplace, which is now empty, sir.
No, I could not see my way clear. And if you take time off your work, Cratchit, to come in here with exorbitant demands, then you and I must part company. Is that what you want?
Not at all, Mr. Scrooge. By no means. I thank you for your time.
The clerk put on his white scarf and tried to warm himself by the candle.
In which office, not being a man of strong imagination, he failed.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you. Bah!
Humbug!
He has so heated himself with walking through the foggy cross with this nephew of Scrooge's that he's all in a glow.
Christmas humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that surely.
I do. Merry Christmas. What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What right do you have to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Bah! Humbug!
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in a world of fools? Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? A time for balancing your books and having every item in them proved dead against you? I wish every idiot who goes around with Merry Christmas on his lips be boiled with his own pudding, and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. So he should.
Uncle!
Nephew, you keep Christmas in your own way, and I'll keep it in mine.
You keep it, but Uncle, you don't keep it.
Let me leave it out then. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things that I'm profited by, I'm sure, Uncle, but I believe Christmas is a good time. A kind, forgiving, pleasant, charitable time. The only time I know of where, by one consent, we open our hearts freely and see people poorer than us as fellow passengers through the grave. Not a strange race of creatures bound on other journeys which don't concern us at all. So, Uncle, Christmas may have never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, but it has done me good. And it will do me good. And so I say, God bless it.
Let me hear one more sound from you, and I'll give you a surprise Christmas present. Instant dismissal! And without a reference. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Dine with us tomorrow.
Don't insult my intelligence. Waste a day singing silly songs and playing blind man's bluff with a pack of spoiled little brats. Seeing you in hell would be a pleasant alternative.
But why?
Why did you get married, nephew?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle. You never came to see me before that happened. Why give it a reason as of now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing of you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry if all my heart to find you so resolute. We've never had any quarrel to which I have been a party, but I've made my child homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Cratchit, will you come in here and let this relative out of my sight?
A Merry Christmas, Mr. Cratchit.
There's my clerk. 15 shillings a week. A wife and brats talking about a Merry Christmas. I think I'll retire to Bedlam in search of some sanity.
The lunatic in letting Scrooge's nephew out lets 2 other people in.
2 charitable people, pleasant to behold.
Now stand in Scrooge's office.
Good afternoon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bedlamites.
Scrooge and Marley, we believed...
Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago, this very night.
And we have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
At the ominous word, liberality, Scrooge frowned, shook his head, and gave the charitable people back their credentials.
We are representatives from the Society for the Relief of Poverty.
Are you indeed?
The Ragged Children's Clothing Charity.
Relief of starvation in city streets.
The Gentlewoman's provision of simple fare to the deserving poor.
Humbug!
At this festive season of year, Mr. Scrooge, it is Scrooge, is it not?
Yes, it's Scrooge.
Mr. Marley is deceased, yes, of course, you said so.
Unfortunately deceased.
At this season of the year, it's more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provisions for the poor and homeless.
Who suffer greatly at the present time.
Many are in want of common necessities, sir.
Hundreds are in want of common comforts, sir.
Poor people.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Beggars.
Alas, yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons, sir.
And the workhouses? Are they still in operation?
They're still, sir.
Although we wish we could say they're not.
And the poor law in full vigor, is it? And the treadmill? Still turning nicely, I hope.
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I was afraid from what you had said. Something had gone wrong with those admirable institutions.
But they scarcely furnish Christmas cheer to the multitude.
At this season of the year, want is keenly felt, and abundance rejoices.
What shall we put you down for?
Nothing.
We understand.
An anonymous gift, that's very generous.
A modest benefactor, Mr. Scrooge, who would do good by stealth.
And not wish to see his name published.
I wish to be left alone. I support the poorhouse, sir, and the treadmill, and the gowns. They cost enough, no conscience. Let those who are worse off make use of such luxuries.
Many would rather die, sir.
then go to the poorhouse.
If that's what they'd rather do, by all means, let them do it. Why not? Decrease the surplus population. It's not my business if they'd rather die. It's enough for a man to know his own business, and mine occupies me continually. Good afternoon.
Mary.
Good afternoon!
Seeing clearly that it would be useless to pursue their quest,
The charitable people withdrew.
Foggier yet, and colder.
Piercing, surging, biting cold.
The owner of one scant young nose.
Not mumbled by the hungry cold.
As bones are gnawed by dogs.
Stooped at the Scrooge's keyhole.
To regale him with a carol.
At length, the shutting up the counting house arrived.
With an ill will, Scrooge dismounted from his stool.
And tacitly admitted the fact to the expectant clerk.
You'll want the day off tomorrow. I'd have done it.
If it's quite all right, Mr. Scrooge.
It's not quite all right. More than that, it's not fair. If I were to stop you half a crown for it, you'd start squealing. You think yourself ill-used. Well, sir, don't you think I'm ill-used? For having to pay you for lying idle?
Christmas is but once a year, sir.
So you can pick a man's pocket every 25th of December. A poor excuse. You'll want the whole day? Be 2 hours earlier next morning, when sanity returns to the world. That's all I've got to say to you.
Merry Christmas.
Bah!
Marley's face.
With a dismal light about it.
Glowing like a bad lobster in the dark.
Though the eyes are open, they don't move.
That and its livid color makes it horrible.
Horrible!
Jacob, Marley? Is that you, Jacob? What are you playing at, my old partner? You're dead as a coffin nail, remember?
It's a knocker again.
Oh, that's much better. Never there at all, was you? If you would have actually been there, I would have expected to see your cursed ponytail sticking out behind you. No pigtail, and therefore no Jacob. Quod erat demonstrat. So far as all ghosts and night walkers go, it's humbug. All of it.
Scrooge thinks he can see Marley in the gloom.
Humbug!
Of course it's dark.
Scrooge likes it dark.
Darkness comes cheap.
Those filthy idlers. They get paid like Bob Cratchit for doing nothing. Worthless. Merry Christmas. There's nothing merry about Christmas. Just people walking up and down the streets begging for money. It's money I made. They don't deserve it. It's filthy. Sitting room, all as it should be. No one under the table. No one under the chair. Yes.
A small fire in the grate.
Spoon and basin ready, for a little saucepan of gruel up on the hob.
Scrooge has a cold in his head. Nobody under the bed.
Nobody in the closet.
Nobody in his dressing gown, which is hanging in a suspicious attitude against the wall.
Quite satisfied, Scrooge sits down before the fire to take his gruel. It's a very low fire. Nothing on such a bitter night.
He's obliged to sit over it and brood over it before he can extract at least sensation of warmth from such a handful of fuel.
His glance happens to rest upon a bell.
A disused bell that hangs in his room and communicates, for some purpose now forgotten, with the chamber in the highest story of the house.
It is with great astonishment
And inexplicable dread.
That Scrooge sees the bell begin to swing. It swings so softly it hardly makes a sound.
but now it rings out loudly.
And so is every bell in the house.
Who's ringing the bells?
It's humbug still. I won't believe it.
Who slams the door?
And drags change there's no prison hereabout.
Footsteps.
Scrooge never held the stair carpet, so he can hear footsteps in the house.
What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Rather, ask me who I was.
Fine then. Who were you?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Oh, Jacob Marley. I always knew you had no bowels. Now I see it clearly.
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because little things upset them. How do I know you are not a mere indigestion? Yes, a hard bristle of chapa, or blood mustard, crumb of cheese, a fragment bundled on potato. You're no more than a stomach upset. More gravy than graveyard, you. You see this toothpick?
I do.
You're not looking at it.
I see it all the same.
Well, I have but to swallow this to be persecuted for the rest of my days. Persecuted by legions of restless spirits and hobgoblins. Stomach upset. What do you have to say to that? Dreadful apparition! Why do you trouble me?
Man of worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do, but Jacob Marley, what is the reason for this visit? It's been late at night and I've been hard at work.
To warn you, Ebenezer Scrooge, learn from me. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house. It never roved beyond our money-changing hole. So I'm condemned to wander through this world to see what I might have shared on earth and turn to happiness.
But Jacob, who was always a good businessman.
It was not enough. I should have known. Mankind was my true business. Charity, mercy, benevolence, these were all my business. Money-making was but a drop in the wide ocean of my proper business.
I beg you, Jacob, don't be poetic with me. Why are you in chains?
I wear the chain I made in my life. I made it, link by link, yard by yard. I made it of my own free will. Every day I made money and forgot.
And you have to travel every day? Wearing that?
Would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you will bear yourself? It was heavy and long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Don't be hard on me, Jacob, please. Speak comforts to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. I cannot linger anywhere. I have very little more time to deal with you.
Don't be hard on me, Jacob, please, and not too poetic, mind.
At this time of the rolling year, why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raised them to that blessed star which took the wise men to a home of poverty.
That's poetic, Jacob. Very poetic.
I'm here to warn you, to give you a chance of escaping my fate, and to bring you some hope.
Thank you, Jacob. You were always a good friend to me. Some hope would come very welcome. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the hope you speak of?
It is.
Then, thank you very much. But I'd rather without it.
Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take all 3 at once, Jacob? Get him over and done with, like nasty medicine?
Expect the second the next night at the same hour, and the third the night following. When the last stroke of midnight no longer echoes, look to see me no more, Ebenezer Scrooge. But, for your own sake, remember me. Remember me. Remember me.
No need to stand there so respectful, spirit. Be covered. Yes, please. Put your cap on your head.
My cap? You, so quick to have me cover my flame. You, one of those dim spirits who created a cap to cover my flame and make the whole world dreary.
The great fire extinguisher. Don't ask me that.
Oh, there's no need to concern yourself any further, spirit. I was only trying to see you quite comfortable. Keep it on the table, if you must. But what exactly is your purpose here?
Your welfare.
I take that kindly, spirit. Very kindly indeed. But so far as my own particular welfare is concerned, a bit of sleep might have done me some good. With a bit of tea around 7 and a bit of business to bring on.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed.
What, exactly?
We will only find it after a long journey of discovery. Are you ready to set out with me?
Hardly, spirit. I'm in my nightgown.
No matter.
Where did you say we were going?
On a journey.
Well, are we going far?
A very long way indeed. As long as your life, Scrooge.
There's a nasty wind out there. A sharp, sneaking wind. If they may put on a greatcoat and some trousers.
Trousers and a greatcoat will not be necessary.
Then some boots then.
Nor boots neither.
Just slippers then, as I've a nasty cold upon me. How do we travel?
Through the air.
Through the air? I'm a mortal man, remember? I'll drop like a stone. And I have a curious fear of heights.
You'll not fall if I touch you there.
Bring a torch and that Isabella. Bring a torch, come swiftly and high. Christ is one telephone of the village. Jesus is sleeping in his cradle. Beautiful is the mother beautiful is her son.
Heavens. This is my country. I was a boy here.
You remember the road?
Remember it? I could walk it blindfolded.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years. Your lips trembling. What's that on your cheek?
On my cheek. Oh, yes, that's just a pimple. A perfectly ordinary pimple.
Not yet. What's a Merry Christmas to you? Out upon Christmas, that's your opinion of the matter, isn't it, Scrooge?
Wait, I know him.
The school isn't altogether empty. There's one lonely boy, forbidden to come home by his father, made to stay on and work for his keep. You remember?
I was alone.
Not entirely.
Open sesame.
Scrooge! Stop idling there, boy! There's potatoes for you to be peeling!
We didn't keep you on here at the school, so...
Read books, you know!
Close sesame.
Scrooge!
Oh, boy. I wish
What do you wish?
there was a boy singing a Christmas carol. I need to frighten him away.
Let us see another Christmas.
That's me also.
Still alone after 10 Christmases.
Not reading now. Walking up and down in my cage with other boys run home from jolly holidays.
Your sister here to see you, Scrooge.
To your brother.
Fan, why are you here?
To bring you home, home, home.
A home? That's not possible.
Yes, it is. A home for good and all. A home forever and forever. Our fathers were much kinder. And now, home's changed. Home's like heaven. He spoke gently to me when I was going to bed. So I dared ask if he might come home. And he said yes. Yes, you may. So I've been sent in a coach to bring you.
You're quite a woman now, little Fan.
And you are to be a man. And never come back here again.
Thank you. Fetch Master Scrooge's box.
We are to be together all Christmas long. And have the merriest time in the world.
You are to be launched, Scrooge, on the dangerous seas of life. Away from this kindly and cozy establishment where you have long been protected, cosseted by the warm hands of self-staff. But wherever you travel, Scrooge, to whatever distant part of the empire, to whatever tropic sun or desert cold, you will always remember, deep in your heart, loyalty and gratitude for this great school, which has long given you comfort, been your world.
You will remember. I promise you, yes.
I see that it touched your heart. You are loyal.
I promise you never to remember you. Never think of you again. Not if I possibly can. Come on, Fan.
Always a delicate creature, your sister Fan. But she had a great heart.
So she had. I won't deny that. Oh, God forbid.
She died a woman with, I think, children.
One child.
Your nephew.
Yes. Fred.
Deck the hall with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la.
You know this place?
Weren't I apprenticed here? Why, it's old Fezziwig. Oh, bless his heart. Fezziwig is alive again.
7 o'clock? Yo ho there! Ebenezer! Dick!
Dickens. I dare swear it is. Very attached to me was old Dickens. Dear me. Yes.
Yo ho, so there you are, my boys. No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas is coming, Ebenezer. So what do we do first this fine Christmas Eve? Hey, boys.
Have the shutters up, Mr. Fezziwig.
Shutters up, Ebenezer. Before a man can say Jack Robinson.
Hilly-ho! Clear away, my lads, and let's have plenty of room here. Hilly-ho, Dick. Hip, hip, Ebenezer.
Clear away.
There's nothing we wouldn't clear away with old Fezziwig looking on.
Every movable moved away, my lads.
Hence those dismissed from public life forever.
Floor swept, logs on the fire, lamps trimmed. Well done, lads. Welcome to the Fezziwig Ballroom and Grand Palace of the Dance. Bring out the music.
Oh, I remember. The old fellow who made notes to Fezziwig's desk. And tuned up like 50 stomach aches.
So, lads, let the revelry commence.
In comes Mrs. Fezziwig, one vast, substantial smile.
In come the three Miss Fezziwigs, beaming and lovable. In come the party guests,
ready to celebrate the season.
So hilly-ho! With our cake and our wine, with our cold roast and our cold boil, with our minced pies and our beer, with our fiddler. An artful dog, mine. The sort of lad that knows his business better than you or I could have told it to him. Shall our Christmas ever die?
Never die.
Then let dancing commence.
Oh, I remember.
Some awkwardly, some pushing, some pulling, and off they all go, hand in hand, in the middle, out again, round and round in various stages of affection, and then all turning up in the wrong place.
Well done, well done. Let supper commence.
The fiddler plunges his face into a pot of porter, especially provided for that purpose.
And when the fiddler, inartful dog minds, the sort of man in who knows his business better than you or I could have told it to him.
Strikes up Sir Roger de Coverley.
Then old Fezziwig stands up to Mrs. Fezziwig.
Soft couple soon, with a good stiff piece of work cut out for them. 3 or 4 and 20 pair of partners, who are not to be trifled with. Will dare and have no notion of walking, but if they have been twice as many, or 4 times, well, Fezziwig, and so with Mrs. Fezziwig. As to her, she is working to be his partner in every sense of the term.
If that's not high praise,
voices die away.
And the lads are left to their beds, which are under a counter in the back shop. A small matter, isn't it? To give a party and make everyone so full of happiness.
Small.
Listen.
Dear old Fezziwig. We're lucky to work for him, Dick.
Who else could have the boy from next door so cheerful?
Or get the cook, skipping as high as the moon.
Or have the baker, who never smiles, laughing fit to burst his breeches.
Turn this old warehouse into a palace of the dance.
God bless old Fezziwig.
Yes, Dick. Bless his old heart.
He spent a little of your mortal money. 3 or 4 pounds, perhaps. Is that such a wonderful thing to do?
Oh, it's not the money, spirit.
Did you say it's not the money?
He had the power to make us apprentices happy or miserable. His power lay in small things. Words or phrases which couldn't add up or count to the ledger. The happiness he gave us was quite his weight. It cost a fortune.
Ebenezer, old fellow.
Yes, Dick?
When we grow old.
You mean grow old?
We'll still be good friends, will we not?
I think so.
And still have feasts and music and all that laughter at Christmas. Just like old Fezziwig.
Just like him.
We're lucky fellows, aren't we?
So we are. Sleep well.
We could skip and dance like him, quite old.
And always have a Merry Christmas.
What's the matter?
Nothing particular.
Something, I think.
No, I should just like to say a few words to my clerk just now. That's all.
My time grows short. Quick.
This was not addressed to Scrooge, or to anyone whom he could see, but it produced an immediate effect. For again Scrooge saw himself. He was older now, a man in the prime of his life. His face had not the harsh and rigid lines of later years, but it had begun to show the signs of care and avarice. There was an eager, greedy, restless motion in the eye that showed the passion that had taken root in the shadow of where the growing tree would fall.
You don't understand the business, Belle.
Do I not?
If those idlers don't pay their rents, well, then they must be put on the streets. I've always paid on the nail.
And collected on the nail too, Ebenezer?
So I must. Am I a charitable organization? Will we not have expenses when we have a home together?
No. Ebenezer, it must be known.
You can't be expected to understand the business.
I understand we can never have a home together.
Belle.
It will matter little. To you, very little. Another idol has displaced me. And if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, well then, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
Is this the fair dealing of the world? It's so hard on poverty, yet condemns wealth. Is that fair of you, Belle?
You are too much afraid of the world. You want to be rich so the world cannot touch you. That's your master passion now. All else is forgotten.
Well, perhaps I've become wise at last. But I've not changed towards you. Have I, Belle?
We used to agree long ago, when we thought you'd work hard and improve our position. Just a little. And then we'd marry.
I was a boy then. I was entirely ignorant of business.
And you have changed?
Not towards you.
When we agreed we were one heart. Now that we are two, our agreement is fraught with misery. I won't say how often I have thought I must tell you this. It's enough I've thought it.
Have I ever tried to wriggle out of our bargain, Belle?
Not in words.
In what then?
In a changed nature. In an altered spirit. In everything that made my love valuable to you. Tell me honestly, if we had never met before, would you try and win me now? A girl without money or the hope of money?
You think not?
I would think otherwise if I could. But now you weigh everything by gain. And if you were false to your new idol and took me instead, what repentance and regret would surely follow? So, now I must release you from your promise. And I do so with a full heart for the love of the man you once were. Yes, I remember what you were. And that makes me think, You may have some pain in this, but soon, very soon you will recover. You will dismiss the memory of me. You'll do it gladly. I was no more than an unprofitable dream. You will be grateful that I woke you up at last. Goodbye now. May you be happy in the life that you have chosen.
Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you delight to torture me?
One shadow more.
No more. No more. I will not see it. I will not. Show me no more.
Henrietta. Stop that, Henrietta. Stop tormenting your grandmother. I don't mind it, my dear. You know I don't mind it at all.
It's Grandpa. I know, it's Grandpa. What's he wanting?
You've spoiled them, Father. You've loved them far too much.
Never too much. It's Christmas. Oh, my dear.
Look at those children, Scrooge. That daughter could have been a springtime in the haggard winter of your life. Now listen.
Bob, I saw an old friend of yours this afternoon.
Who was it?
Yes.
How can I? I don't know. Mr. Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge. I passed his office window. He had a single candle lit, and I could scarcely help seeing him. His partner went of death, I hear. He sat there alone. All quiet, low in the world, I do believe.
Spirit, remove me from this place.
I told you. These are shadows of things that have been. They are what they are. Don't blame me.
Remove me. How can I bear it?
He turns upon the ghost, and seeing it look frightful in the face, which in some strange way.
There are fragments of all the faces it has shown him. He wrestles with it.
Leave me. Take me back. Haunt me no longer. do you have a large family, Spirit?
More than 1,800. One born every year since the birth.
That's quite a large, prodigious family for a man to support. Spirit, conduct me very well. I went out last night on compulsion. Learned a lesson which is working now. If you have anything to teach me, well, let me profit by it. But don't you be hard on me, eh? Not too terribly hard. How do we travel exactly?
Through the air.
I'm a mortal man, remember? I'll drop like a stone. I have a curious fear of high places.
Row by row.
Oh, Christmas tree, you stand in verdant beauty. Oh, Christmas tree, you stand in verdant beauty. Your bells are green in summer's glow, and do not fade in winter's snow. Oh, Christmas tree, you stand in verdant beauty.
Now all the good people are called to church or chapel.
Other good people filled the baker's shop to get their Christmas dinner cooked.
The sight of these poor revelers seemed to interest the Spirit very much.
Would you apply your charms to any kind of dinner this day?
To any kindly given to a poor one most.
Why, to a poor one most?
Because it pleases most. Come.
Then what spirit was this? Oh, the next one will probably gonna be the future. Right.
They're not boiling yet, Mother.
Where was your father and Tim? And Martha? Martha wasn't even late last Christmas. Where's Martha? Here's Martha, Mother.
And here's the potatoes, boiling at last, all ready for the goose.
We were up all night sewing a ball gown for a lady, and then we had to be up early to clean the shop for Christmas.
Never mind that, so long as you've come. Sit you down by the fire, my dear, and have a warm. Lord bless you.
Finally, I can have a rest tomorrow.
Your father can't. He has to be up early.
Well, that's too bad. Why is that? I know. Mr. Scrooge.
That's Father coming. Hi, Martha.
Where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming? That's what we'll have for Christmas.
No, it won't, Father. Come, Tim. Let's see how the pudding smells.
And how did little Tim behave in church, Bob?
Good school. Even better. But he comes up with the strangest of things. Today at church, he said he hoped people saw him because he was a cripple. It might be good for them to remember who made lame beggars walk and blind men see. But our Tim's going stronger each day, isn't he? Each day he grows more hardy.
The goose! The goose!
The goose! Make way for the goose!
Mrs. Cratchit makes the gravy piping hot.
Master Peter mashes the potatoes with incredible vigor.
Miss Belinda sweetens up the applesauce.
Martha dusts the hot plates.
And the young Cratchits set chairs for everybody. Not forgetting themselves, they cram spoons into their mouth.
Lest they should shriek for the goose before their turn comes to be served.
For what we are about to receive, may the Lord make us truly thankful. I I don't believe such a goose was cooked before.
Not for size, tenderness, and cheapness.
And enough for all.
Eked out by the applesauce. Potatoes, matched by meat.
What a goose.
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
If the shadows are not altered, he will die.
No, kind spirit, please. Let him live.
I said, if those shadows are not altered, none of my kind who come after me will see him then. What of that, Scrooge? Does that concern you? Remember your own words. If he'd like to die, then he'd better get on with it, reduce the surplus population.
Should never have said that.
Man! Forbear that wicked cat. Will you decide what men should live? What man shall die? In the eyes of heaven, it may be that you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child. Oh God! Spare us from the hearing of the insect on the leaf, deciding there's too much life among his hungry brothers in the dust.
The pudding. Suppose it's not done enough. Suppose it breaks when you turn it down.
Suppose someone climbed over the back wall and stole it.
Yay! Sound. I had a moment of uncertainty about the quantity of flour.
Never you fear it. It's a wonderful pudding. If I may speak without exaggeration, Mrs. Cratchit, I must regard this pudding as the single greatest achievement of our married life. Now, Merry Christmas to us all. God bless us.
God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Now, I give you, one and all, the good health of Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast on, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, Christmas.
It should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge.
Spirit, is it me she speaks of?
It's what she knows.
And you know it too, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink to his health for your sake, and for the day's sake, but not for his. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I don't doubt.
Mr. Scrooge. And the news I have for you, young Peter. A junior clerkship at the most respectable company, with which Mr. Scrooge does business, at a salary of, wait for it, full 5 shillings and 6pence by the week, which, in all the circumstances, I consider princely.
Princely indeed.
What are you going to do with all that money, Peter?
No doubt he'll invest on the stock exchange as Mr. Scrooge does his, won't you, Peter?
So here's to Master Peter in his new position. Master Peter. Now, it brings me great pleasure to call upon the youngest of Cratchits to entertain the company in song.
And that Peter see me instead of a pawn shop. I don't doubt.
But learn this from them, Scrooge. They are happy with one another, and contented with the time. Hold your gun about you, Scrooge. We're going on a journey.
Where to?
You will discover soon enough.
Wait.
Feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even, brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel. When a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel.
If you happen by some unlikely chance to know a man more blessed and laughed than Scrooge's nephew,
All I can say is I should like to know him too. Introduce me to him and I'll cultivate his acquaintance.
And Scrooge's nephew laughs this way.
holding his side, rolling his head, and twisting his face in the most extravagant contortions.
Scrooge's niece by marriage laughs as heartily as he, and their assembled friends, not being a bit behindhand, roar out lustily.
As I live, he said that Christmas was a humbug. He believes it too.
More shame to him, Fred.
Scrooge is a comical old fellow, that's the truth. And not pleasant as it might be, his offenses carry their punishment. I have really nothing against him.
And I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. So
What
you
a-
always tell me.
What of that, my dear? His money is no good to him. He don't do any good with it. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it. He has the satisfaction of thinking that he's gonna benefit us with it.
I have no patience with him.
Neither have we.
No patience at all with old Scrooge.
Oh, I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Why, who suffers by his ill-tempered ways? Why, no one but himself. He takes it in his head to dislike us and won't come and dine with us. So, what's the consequence? Does he lose much of a dinner?
Indeed, I think he loses a very good dinner.
An excellent dinner.
We know that.
We thee.
So we must be able to be best judges.
I'm not sure beautiful young brides make great housekeepers. Housekeepers are best kept old, strict, and fat around the middle. What do you say, Topper?
I say I'm a bachelor. That is to say, I'm a wretched outcast.
Topper has clearly got his eye on one of Scrooge's niece's sisters.
The one with the roses on her dress? No, the beautiful one with the lace tucket.
So who am I to be passing judgment on beautiful young brides?
Go on, Fred. He never finishes what he begins to say. He's such a ridiculous fellow.
What I was going to say, before I was so rudely interrupted, we should feel sorry for Scrooge. He's losing out some pleasant memories which can do him no harm. I'm sure he would find much more comfort with us than with his own thoughts, more warmth with us than in his dusty room or lonely office. So I mean, give him the chance, and extend the same invitation every year, whether he likes it or not. He may rail at Christmas all he likes, but I'll wear him down the end. I swear I will. And if that leaves him in the vein of leaving his poor nephew 50 pounds in his will, well, That's something. I think I shook him yesterday.
Oh, stop it, Fred. How about a song?
Here we come a-wassailing among the leaves so green, and here we come a-wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too, and God bless you and send you a happy new year, and God send you a happy new year.
I know that little air. My sister Fan used to sing it while I was went away to school so many years ago.
Listen to us, Scrooge. If you remembered it more often, I think you might. I think you just might.
I might what, Spirit?
Have cultivated the kindness in life with your own happiness and with your own hands, without resorting to the sexton's spade that buried Jacob Marley.
What's the matter with all of us? Are we to have no games this year?
Who will be the blind man?
I suppose as a wretched outcast of a bachelor.
Topper. I can no more believe Topper is as blind and as he has eyes in his boots.
I believe it's all a plot between him and Scrooge's nephew.
The way he's going after that beautiful sister in the lace tucker is an outrage to the credulity of human nature.
Knocking down the fire irons, bumping against the sofa, smothering himself in the curtains. Wherever she goes, there goes he.
He won't catch anyone else.
If you fall against him and stand there, he only makes a faint effort to catch you. It isn't fair. It really is not fair.
But for all her rapid flutterings and silken rustlings,
He gets her into a corner from which there is no escape.
His conduct is the most lamentable, pretending not to know her.
Pretending it's necessary to touch her to assure himself of her identity.
by putting a certain ring on her finger.
And a certain chain about her neck.
It's Miss Rosie!
What a surprise.
Topper's behavior is vile and monstrous.
And no doubt that's why the beautiful sister's taking Topper behind the curtain.
To tell him how vilely he has behaved. Animal, vegetable, and mineral.
Our time here is almost over.
Oh, but Spirit, there's a new game starting.
Very well, but only for a little while.
It's animal.
How many legs?
How many legs? Well, 2.
Can you eat it?
Can you eat it?
Yes. Can it eat you? It might gobble you up.
Has it got wings?
Has it got wings?
Yes.
It's a turkey!
Is it a turkey?
Yes.
Oh. It's animal.
Does it live in a menagerie?
No.
Do they sell it at the market?
No.
Is it a horse?
Is it a horse?
No.
A dog?
No.
Is it to be found in London?
Lives in London. Yes.
Savage?
Is it savage?
Often.
Does it growl and grunt?
Does it growl and grunt?
Sometimes.
Is it an agreeable animal?
No.
Disagreeable?
Yes.
When you see it in London, is it on about the streets?
No.
Is it a bear?
No. A bear with a sore head, perhaps.
Is it tight?
Is it tight-fisted?
Exceedingly.
Oh, I found it out! I know what it is, Fred! I know what it is!
Well, what is it then?
Is it your Uncle
Scrooge! This calls for a toast. Take a glass, everyone. Take a glass. He has given us plenty of merriment, that's for sure. It'd be pure ingratitude to not drink to his health. So a Merry Christmas to the old man wherever he is. He may have not taken it from us, but he might have nonetheless. So raise your glasses, one and all, and a toast to Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge! My compliments to you all on this most auspicious, this most joyous occasion. May I propose a toast to my niece and nephew? Oh, coupled with the names of Mr. Topper and Miss Rosie, whom I would advise to purchase a small annuity for any future members of their family. This might be had at a discount.
It's no use, Scrooge. They can't hear you. We're invisible, don't you remember? And besides, we must go up once more on our travels.
That night, Scrooge and his spirit traveled far. Much they see, and many hours they visit.
But always with a happy end.
The spirit stands beside sick children and they are cheerful. On foreign lands and they are close to home.
By poverty, and it is rich.
in almshouses, hospitals, and jails, in misery's every refuge.
Where vain man, in his little brief authority, cannot make fast the door and turn the spirit out.
He leaves his blessing and teaches Scrooge his precepts.
It's a long night, but it is only a night. But Scrooge has his doubts of escape.
He observes that during their travels, the spirit grows older.
Clearly older, but he never speaks of it.
Until they are leaving a children's 12th night party, and he notices that the spirit's hair is gray.
Are spirits' lives so short?
My life upon this earth was very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. Hark! The time is drawing near.
Well then, forgive me, spirit. This is not an impertinent question. But I do see something not belonging to your good self protruding from your skirts. Is it a foot, a leg, or a claw?
It might be a claw, for all the flesh there is upon it. Look here, and down here! Man!
The children, wretched, abject, frightful, hideous, miserable.
A pointer girl, yellow, meager, ragged, scowling, wolfish.
But prostrate, too, in their humility.
When graceful youth should have filled their features out.
And touch them with the freshest tints.
A stale, shriveled hand, like that of age, has pinched and twisted them and pulled them in shreds.
Angels may have sat enthroned, devils lurk,
and glare out menacingly.
They were all the mysteries of wonderful creation.
No degradation of humanity.
Has monsters half so horrible and dread?
What of this, Scrooge?
I suppose they are weakly, fine children. Whose are they, spirit?
They are men, and they cling to me in flight from their fathers. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware of them both, and all of that agree. But most of all, beware this boy, for on his brow I see that written which is doomed, unless the writing be erased. Deny it! All you complacent people! Slander those who tell it ye! Admit it for your factious purposes, and make it worse. And then, wait in patience for the end.
Has there no refuge? No shelter?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Do you remember who said that, Scrooge?
Wait!
Who just ran a car?
Spirit! You. Are you the spirit of Christmas yet to come? You are about to show me things that have not happened yet. Will it happen in time before? Is that so, spirit? Ghost of the future! I fear you more than any of the specters I've seen so far. But I know your purpose is to do me good. So I'm ready to bear you company and thank the party. I tell you that I hope to be a different man from what I was. I do hope that, spirit. Speak to me. I beg you. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, that spirit. Lead me on. The night is waking fast, and it's a precious time for me. Lead on, then, spirit.
in the heart of it.
On exchange among the merchants.
Breaking down, each keep the money in their pockets.
And look at their watches, and toy thoughtfully with their great gold seals.
No, nothing. I don't know anything about it. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
I thought he'd last forever. What was the matter with him?
God knows.
Well, what has he done with his money?
I don't know. Left it to his company, I suppose. He had no one close to him, and that's all I know. He hasn't left a penny for me. It's likely to be a very cheap funeral. Upon my life, I don't know who'd go to it. Suppose we make him a party of volunteers.
I don't mind going on such a Friday. I must be fed if I make one of the party.
I'm the most disinterested in all of you. I don't wear black gloves. I don't eat lunch. But I'm game for a funeral. Come to think of it, we used to be best friends. We used to say good morning to each other occasionally.
Your tri-wolves a bit sickly, aren't they?
Yes, they got some good fellows. Pleasant as it is. Stanley, how are you? Pretty good, Jobbins, thank you. Well, I hear the old devil's finally gone to his own. I hear, Jobbins. Cold enough for you today, isn't it? Seasonable for Christmas time. I don't suppose you're a skater, Stanley. No, I don't have time for such foolishness. I've got better things to think about. Good morning. Good morning, Stanley.
Ghost, these conversations seem to lack significance. Whose death are they speaking of? Not of Jacob Marley's, because that's the past. And your province is in the future. All the same, I shall do my best to remember when we came together. I shall do my best to learn from it. That's me, Spirit. That's where I stand on the exchange those mornings. That's my place. I'm engaged on my business as usual.
Scrooge fancies, from the turn of the head, that the phantom's eyes are looking at him keenly.
It makes him shudder and feel very cold.
The spirit leads him into an obscure part of town, a place of ill repute where Scrooge has never penetrated before.
The ways are foul and narrow, the shops and houses wretched, the people half naked, drunken, slipshod, ugly.
Alleys and archways, like too many cesspools, disgorge their offensive smell, dirt, and the like upon the straggling streets.
And the whole air reeks with crime, with filth, and misery.
In this infamous resort, there is a low-browed betting shop where iron, rags, bottles, bones, and greasy offal are bought.
Sitting among his wares is a gray-haired rascal, nearly 70 years of age.
He smokes his pipe in all the luxury of calm refinement.
We haven't all three met here without meaning it. The charwoman, the laundress, the undertaker's man.
You couldn't have met in a better place. Come into my parlor. You're all suitable and well matched. Come into my parlor.
What's the odds, Mrs. Dilber? What are you afraid of? We all had a right to take care of number one. I'm sure he did.
Yes, indeed, no man more so.
Well, don't stand there staring. Let's get on with the business. I don't suppose we are going to tell tales on each other.
No, indeed.
We should hope not.
And who's the worse for loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, indeed.
And if the wicked old devil winds up kept after his death, everything natural and kind during his lifetime, then he might have had someone to watch out for him. When he was struck down, he was down lying there, gasping on his last, alone and by himself.
That's the truest words I ever was spoken.
A judgment.
Should have been a heavier one. If I could have laid my hands on anything else. Open the bundle, Joe, and tell me the value of it. Speak out plain.
Pray, let me go first. I have but a little plunder.
All right, you old burial buzzard. Show us your wares.
Item. A seal.
5 shillings, and that's generous.
Item. A stuff box and 2 sleeve buttons. What can you stretch to?
Half a crown, and not an inch further.
Item. Rooch.
Of no great value. 9 pence halfpenny, 8 shilling in all.
And 3 pence halfpenny, sir?
3 pence halfpenny if you insist. And I wouldn't stretch another farthing. Not if I was boiled in oil for it.
There's my items, Joe.
Towels. 2. Bed sheets to the number of 2. Underwear apparel, various. Holier than thou. Silver teaspoons, old-fashioned. Sugar tongs, with not much experience with sugar. 2 pair of boots, in urgent need of the cobbler. 3 pounds for the whole lot, and that's stretching it.
But
That's my weakness. I always stretch for the ladies. And if you ask me for another penny, I'd repent for being so liberal, and knock off half of it.
now, you opened my blanket, Joe.
What you got in here? Crown jewels, ain't it?
Articles of great value, as you see when you spread them out.
Bed curtains, is that?
Ah, hit first time. Bed curtains it is.
You don't mean you took them down, rings and all, with him lying there?
Yes, I do. What else could I have done it then? Lovely quality they are, as you can see for yourself.
You were born to make a fortune, and you'll certainly do it.
I wouldn't stop myself from reaching out for what I want. Not for such a man as he was. Don't you go getting oil all over those blankets now.
His blankets, is that?
He isn't likely to take a cold where he is. I
hope he didn't die of anything catching, eh?
Only from the meanness, and I know how infectious that is. Ah, you may look through that shirt and your eyes ache and not find a hole in that bare place. It's the best he had, and they'd have wasted of it if it wasn't for me.
What do you call wasting of it?
Someone was fool enough to put it on him to be buried in, but I took it off again. If rough calico ain't good enough for such a purpose, it ain't good enough for anything. Besides, it's quite becoming to a corpse. Anyways, he couldn't look uglier than he did in fine linen.
And this is where he kept his chinks, his golden guineas, is that?
That's not for sale, Joe. You got your pickings, old man. This is the end of it, you see. He frightened everyone away when he was alive, so we can profit from his death. I take that very kindly indeed.
I see it now, Spirit. I understand it. The man they robbed. It might be anyone. But that's the path. My life was taken. That's what's going to happen to me. Merciful heavens! What is this? You want me to lift the sheet then, Spirit? You want me to lift it and see the face? I know. Easy. Easy to see who lies there, eh? I swear I long to do what you ask. But forgive me and understand. But I cannot find my power to lift the finger. Do the work.
Oh, cold, cold, rigid, dreadful death.
So have you all to hear, entrusted with such terrors as you have in your command. For this is your dominion.
No voice says these words in Scrooge's ear, yet he hears them when he looks upon the bed. He thinks that, if this man could be raised up now, what would be his foremost thoughts?
Avarice, hard dealing, gripping cares, they have brought you rich and truly.
He lies in the dark, in an empty house, without a man, a woman, or a child who said he was kind to this one or that, or for the meaning of one kind word. I'll begin to him.
The cat is scratching at the door, and there's a sound of rats beneath the hearthstone. What do they want in the room of death, and why are they so restless and disturbed? Scrooge doesn't dare to move.
Spirit, this is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not forget its lesson. But please, let us go! I said I understand what you want, and I'd do it if I could. But I have not the power, Spirit. I have not the power. Is there no one in this town who feels some emotion? Some tenderness in the face of death? Show me one person who feels something because of it. I do beg you, Spirit. Show me!
Set him in the midst of them, and said verily, I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven.
Where have I heard these words before? I haven't dreamt them. Go on reading.
The color hurts my eyes. They get weak by candlelight.
Yes, little mother.
No, they're better now. I wouldn't show pictures to your father when he gets home. It must be near his time.
Rather past it, but he's got a little slower, I think.
I've known him to walk very fast with Tiny Tim on his shoulder. Very fast indeed. And so have I.
Often.
So have I.
And I. Me too.
But Tiny Tim was light to carry. And your father loved him, so it was no trouble. No trouble at all. That's father at the door.
So quick with your work, Mother. You'll have it all done by Sunday, you and Martha?
Sunday. You went today then, Robert?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have been there. It'd have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would always walk there every Sunday. My little child. You'll never guess who I met today.
Go on, then.
Tell us. Mr. Scrooge's nephew. And you'd never guess the kindness. He said I seemed a little down. Just a little down, you know? So I had to tell him about our Tim. And he said, well, he's just the kindest spoken gentleman you've ever heard. He said, I'm heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit. And he said, I'm heartily sorry for your good wife. By the way, I can't think how he knew that.
You what, my dear?
Why, that you're a good wife.
Everyone knows that.
Very well observed, my boy. I hope they do. Heartily sorry, he said, for your good wife, if I can be of any service. And then he hands me his card. Very handsome, I'm sure, all printed and embossed. That's where I live, he says. Pray come to me. It wasn't so much for anything he might do, but the kind way he said it that was quite delightful. It was really as if he'd known our Tiny Tim and felt one with us.
I'm sure he's a good man.
You would be sure of it, my dear, if ever you was to meet him. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Now listen to this. Not at all surprised if you got our Peter a better situation.
You hear that, Peter?
And soon our Peter will be courting and setting up for himself.
Get along, dear Belinda.
It's as likely as not, one of these days. But there's plenty of time for that, my dear.
One of these days, perhaps.
But however we part from one another, not one of us is going to forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we?
No.
Never. No, this first parting among us all.
Of course not.
Then I'm very happy. Very, very happy.
Stop a moment. This is where I live. Let me see what shall become of me in the days to come. This is my house. Why you went away? That's my office. It's no longer me at work, spirit. Earning my daily bread. Where am I in this future, spirit? Tell me that quickly!
Here, dead, the wretched man, whose name Scrooge lies in his rest.
It is a worthy place, walled in by houses,
Overrun by grass and weeds, choked up by too much burying.
fat with repleted appetite.
A worthy place.
Spirit, before I look at that tombstone, answer me one question. Was I the man in the bed? Tell me, are these the shadows of what shall be? Or are they the shadows of what may be only? My behavior might have led to a certain end. But if I change myself completely, then might I be different? Might I not? Oh, please, Spirit, give me a little hope! Am I the man who lay in the bed? Am I? Tell me the worst of it, Spirit! Oh, no, Spirit, not I! Please, I am not the man I was. I'm someone else now. Someone else entirely. I won't be the man I might have been if I never had the pleasure of meeting you, Spirit. Why do you show me these things if I'm past all hope and lost forever? Spirit, God nature pities me. You intercede for me. Tell me I can change these shadows you've shown to me. Tell me I can still change. I promise you, my solemn oath, I'll honor Christmas, keep it all the year. I shall truly live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I shall not shut out the lesson that they teach me. Oh, Spirit, kind Spirit, tell me I may spot away the writing on this stone. Oh yes, that's your own Ebenezer. Room 0. To make amends and not torn down, never torn down in soul. They're still with me. Rings and all. Oh, my bed curtains are here. Ebenezer Scrooge is here. From this day on, from now on, I shall truly live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heavens and earth be praised for this. I say it on my knees, Lord Jacob, on my knees. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather, as happy as a schoolboy, as jolly as an angel. Oh, I'm as giddy, and I'm as giddy as a drunken man. Merry as a gig, laughing like a train, dancing like a dervish. A Merry Christmas all round, and a Happy New Year to all the world. It's all here. It all happened. The saucepan for my little bit of gruel. Old Jacob Marley came through here. Ghost of Christmas presents down there. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. Don't know anything. Quite a baby. Never mind. No doubt. Best thing to be. A baby. Oh yes, quite the best. And the window where I saw the wandering spirits. It's all true. It all happened. Oh, no more fog. No mist. Clear. Bright. Jovial. Stirring. Cold. But piping full of blood to dance to. Oh, golden sunlight. Heavenly sky. Ooh. Sweet, fresh air. Merry bells. Oh, glorious. Glorious. Oh, hello there, boy. What's today?
Eh?
What's today, my fine fellow? My lad?
Why, today it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits can all their work in one night. Of course they can. They can do anything they like. Oh. Hello again there, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you happen to know the poulterers in the next street but one?
I should hope I did.
Ooh, what an intelligent boy. A remarkable boy. A boy of enormous brain. Do you happen to know, hopeful sir, whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the puny small prize turkey. I mean the big prize turkey.
What? The one as big as me?
Ooh, what a delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my buck.
It hangs here at this very moment.
Does it? Then ring the brown by for Mr. Scrooge.
Are you serious?
Why, I'm deadly serious, my boy. And will you get the man in town to bring it here, so I may tell him where to take it? Come back with the man, and I'll give you a shilling. I see. Come back in less than 5 minutes, and I'll give you half a crown.
Off like a shot.
Yes, I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. Cratchit. 2 Scrivener's Passage, Camden Town. Yes, I believe that's it. I'll never think of who sent it. Oop, nearly had my nose off then. Last person who sent it, quite a magnificent fowl, was old Skinflint Scrooge. I hope it bastes well and they serve it with sausages. I hope I'm not too late. I hope I can still save Tiny Tim. Sick boy, poor boy, Bob Cratchit, everyone. I was horrible to them, but now is the time for change. Now, let's go quickly. Tiny Tim, I am coming for you! Oh, dear old door knocker, I scarcely looked at you before, but I'll love you as long as I live. What an honest expression you had on your face last night, and how handsome Jacob Marley was, to be sure. Oh, you wonderful knocker. Now that is a turkey. Why, it could have never stood on so 2 legs. It would have snapped them off like sticks of sealing wax.
Where is it to go, sir?
Scrivener's Passage, Camden Town, name of Cratchit. And, never be the word as you sent it.
Never breathe a word, sir.
Why, you can't carry that monster to Camden Town. Not even Hercules himself could do it. You must have a cab. Like a little efficient boy, will you call me a cab?
You're a cab, sir.
Oh, what a delightful boy. Here's the money for the cab and for the burger. And a young crown here for the young sparkler. Now, let's go. Give us passage. Get it down. Off.
The people are pouring forth, as he had seen them with the ghost of Christmas present.
And Scrooge walks among them with his hands behind his back, greeting everyone with a delighted smile.
He looks so irresistibly pleasant that 3 or 4 people say,
Merry Christmas to you.
Good morning, sir.
Of all the happy sounds I've ever heard, those were the happiest in my ears.
Then he saw the charitable people.
Oh, good morning! I hope you succeeded well. A Merry Christmas to you, sir. And to you, ma'am. A Merry Christmas.
Mr. Scrooge?
Is it Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, oh yes, indeed, that's my name. And I fear it may not be pleasant to you. If you will have some patience with me for a moment, may I suggest a small contribution, a modest sum, which you may put me down for.
Mr. Scrooge, did you say a modest sum?
Mr. Scrooge, did you say a small contribution?
Yes, if you please. Farthing less. Now, if you will do me a favor and never make a word as you did this,
we don't know what to say.
No, please, come and see me. We will. Will you come and see me?
We will.
Oh, thank you 50 times. Much obliged to you, enjoy. God bless you, and a Merry Christmas.
Welcome. Honey, look, Uncle Scrooge, come to dinner at lunch.
You're very welcome, Uncle Scrooge.
Oh, thank you. I take that very kindly. Now, expecting a party, aren't we? With games and all the jollity. Mr. Topper, Ebenezer Scrooge is my name. Fred's Uncle Scrooge. I had the pleasure to appear in a game of animal vegetable mineral, which didn't have to happen. And to my dear niece's sisters, who, I must warn you, my dear, to be particularly watchful, Mr. Topper. Now, we all have to look forward to today. Wonderful jollity, wonderful Christmas time.
How long? Think we can promise you that, Uncle?
Those games. Do you think we could have one now, just to kick off the proceedings?
Cover your eyes, Scrooge.
tired out by the joy of the occasion.
That's what he set his heart on, and he does it. Just as the clock is striking 9.
9 o'clock and no Bob Cratchit.
Quarter past and still no Bob.
Scrooge sits with his door open so he might see his clerk come into the tank.
Hello, Cratchit? What do you mean by coming in at this time of day?
I'm very sorry, sir. It is past my time.
Is it indeed? Full 18 and a half minutes behind your time.
If you'll excuse me, sir, I was making rather merry of myself last night.
Now,
Please, sir.
my friend, I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I am going to raise your salary.
Now, Marah, speak out. This man completely his senses. He has a momentary idea of knocking Scrooge down with his own ruler.
And calling out to the people in the court for help and a straitjacket.
A Merry Christmas, Bob. A Merry Christmas, Bob, that I've given you for many years.
Are you feeling quite yourself, Mr. Scrooge?
My new self, Bob. My old self no longer. I'll raise your salary, and I'll try to help your struggling family out as well. But we'll talk about that this afternoon for a bowl of mulled wine, good and spicy. But before all that, in the name of sanity, strike up the fire and buy another coal scuttle before you dart another eye across another team. Bob Cratchit.
Right away, sir. And now Scrooge is the second father to Tiny Tim, who lives.
A taste of rum for you, Mr. Scrooge, just to keep out the cold.
Thank you. I've decided to give up the spirits forever.
It is always said of Scrooge that he knows to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possesses the knowledge. May this be truly said of us and all of us.